Super Saturday, 9 hours of CFL action on TSN begins here in Montreal, and we have a beautiful day at Percival Molson Stadium for the Alouettes and the Stampeders. Calgary fighting for first in the West. We'll look to make it 5 in a row, and that man right there, Vernon Adams Jr., back for Montreal.
You said it, he's back, and boy, they're glad too. Nothing wrong with Matthew Schultz, but this guy is the new leader of this football team. 7-3 in 2019. He likes playing Calgary. He's undefeated versus them, and 2-0 in his career. Bo Levi Mitchell, he's on a little streak of his own. 4 in a row. Although the last 5 trips here to Montreal hadn't been kind to the Calgary Stampeders, going 1-4.
That's exactly what Dickinson's looking to change. 1-4, the only win. They only had 12 points. That was last season. He's 4-3 in his coaching career against the Montreal Alouettes. On the other side, Kahari Jones will be looking to get the momentum back for his club after they had an opportunity to win it and let it slip away against BC. 4-2 at home this season, Kahari Jones and the Montreal Alouettes. And if we have any fireworks like we had in Week 10 when these two clubs met, I'm really looking forward to this game, Matty.
That feels like that game was 7 weeks ago. It feels like it was yesterday. I'm still excited about that finish and how that played out. And I know Dave Dickinson, I might do that a couple times today. I know that Dickie, well, how about that?
There you go, just stick with that.
Yeah, just go with that. I know that he was not pleased with how that turned out. A couple calls he felt went against his football club. But they're past that. They just want to play clean football like they typically do.
And they love the rivalry here as this game is underway. And the kick will be taken at the 8-yard line by Mario Alford. And Alford, nice scamper back up to the 32, inserted into the lineup this week to return kicks. And there is Vernon Adams as he returns to the field here for the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, you mentioned Alford there, and he's in for a healthy scratch, and Chris Matthews. And I'm excited to see how many touches he's able to compile today and how he's able to add to this football team. We know VA is going to do his thing, try to kickstart this offense once again.
47 yards away from a 3,000-yard season for Vernon Adams, and he'll start with 4 receivers to his right from his own 31. And they'll hand that off to Stanback, and that is sniffed out well there by the Calgary defense, and Winton McManus leading the way.
Yeah, they're going right to stand back, as they should, coming off a hot game last week. 14 carries for almost 150 yards, and Eugene Lewis, go-to guy for the Alouettes, along with DeVere Posey, and up front, boy, Christian Mack. I can't believe his 10th year at college game, his rookie season, and he washed down the Edmonton defensive line, and I had to make mention of him, and I believe his wife, Melissa, was going crazy. 2nd and 10 now here from the 31 for Adams. Looks downfield. That one's up for grabs, and it's complete at the 45 as he threw it up, and Eugene Lewis went and got it. Yeah, and this is, you called it, he threw it up because he's thrown into coverage, because you watch how things get tight in a hurry as this ball's lifted over the top. He never looks away from him. You got a corner over the top, and boy, that's just a big mistake by a veteran guy you wouldn't think would make that mistake by waiting for the ball as opposed to high pointing it. That's what Lewis does. He comes up with a big play. Nobody attempts further deep balls than Vernon Adams, and they strike here early with a 39-yard completion. Now they'll try to set up a screen for Quan Bray, who did not have a catch last week. He's got this one here, and he'll push ahead for about 7 or 8 yards on the first down completion. Yeah, when you look at the defense here, a guy comes in the ball game with 8 quarterback sacks, 30 on his career. Cordero Law is a quiet leader on that defensive front, and he gets the job done week in, week out. And guy I really like since preseason, Nate Hawley in his first year from Kent State. He's all over the football field. And then the back end, we talked about him, Brandon Smith. Not the way he wanted us to start the conversation about his play, but he's an outstanding halfback alongside Trey Roberson. Montreal needs 3. They'll give it to Stanback looking for it. He lunges ahead, and that'll be enough for a first down here on a beautiful day in Montreal. The Alouettes offense moving it now. Here's some pushing and shoving, and Vernon Adams, first guy to kind of hop in there and start to pull his guys back, and that's carryover from Week 10. We were wondering if we'd see any of that. Yeah, well, we got a glimpse and talked about a lot of coaches before the game, a lot of players yesterday, and they downplayed it, but I guarantee it, they're hot under the collar, and we're going to see that all afternoon long. Here's a look at what happened. Like
DeVere Posey into the mix there with Jamar Wall. They both got flags. Offsetting.
Spencer Wilson comes in there.
1st and 10 now from the 29 for Adams. He's going to look to the end zone, and that one batted down.
Oh, yeah.
Flag on the play. It was Deshaun Amos who reached over top, but a flag drawn, and it sits just inside the goal line.
Yeah, I love what Vernon Adams does here. He shows you a little bit of growth here as he looks left, as you watch a quarterback's eyes, as he looks left, and then he goes right to Winicky on the post pattern, which he's been working on all week. And I like it. Little out.
Accidental pass interference. Calgary. This will be number 8. This will be a 10-yard penalty and automatic first down for Montreal.
Incidental, I'm not sure about. Got a little help there, I believe, but I think that ball should be at the 1-yard line because that foul happened in the end zone. But that's Andre Proust-Carr with his team down there, and that's another big play for Montreal. I like what Vernon Adams did there in a big way. He just looked off the defense, tried to set up Winicky and throw a strike in there. Got a little help from the defender.
Important for him to put some points on the board here offensively in the first quarter. Montreal struggled a little bit out of the gate. They've obviously had some come from behind games, but they were telling us yesterday they'd rather just be in front at some point. Now here's Adams, drops it off. This is Lewis on the far side trying to find some room, and he will not as he is wrapped up and eventually thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's just great recognition from the defensive secondary, just rallying to the football on a little bubble screen, and an extra tight end playing on the offensive line, 4 receivers to the boundary, tried to basically just move and sweep out to that side. Detected early by that Calgary defense.
Faced a 2nd and 10 earlier on this first possession of the game, and that was when they hit Eugene Lewis for a 39-yard pickup. He's got a couple catches already in this game. 2nd and 11 here for Adams. 4 targets to the wide side of the field on his left. Looks to his left. Throws to his left. He's got a completion. That's Quan Bray, and Quan Bray's down inside the 10, and that'll be enough for another Montreal first down.
Yeah, this is zone coverage down here, and Vernon Adams says thank you very much, and just finds a soft receiver sitting down in Quan Bray, and that's an easy pickup on 2nd and long there.
It's actually one of the things he said yesterday when he was talking about maybe some of the slower starts. He said sometimes he just needs to take what's there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that was.
And Kahari's trying to get him in that mode earlier in the play calling, and he dialed it up there. He's 4 for 4 on this drive.
1st and goal from the 9 here. Empty backfield. Adams complete. This time to Lewis. Pushing ahead, reaching towards the end zone. He's going to be stopped just short. 3rd catch of the drive for Eugene Lewis.
High percentage throw here. Get it out of your hands quick. Let your playmakers do something for you. And I like what Lewis does here. He's trying to stick it out there and says, now, be careful. We're right here at the doorstep. Don't want to do anything silly.
Lewis with 45 yards so far on this drive that has the Alouettes knocking on the door here.
Big play receiver for him. 5 of 30 plus this year. Got another one already.
Vernon Adams is going to keep it. He dives through. Flags fly on both sides of the field.
It looked like he was over the goal line.
Definitely looked like he was over the goal line.
Calgary, number 21.
Oh, that hurts.
He plays on the 1-yard line with automatic first down.
Rasheem Wilson, cornerback, on top of the screen, lines up in the neutral zone, and Vernon just gets washed down there by. That's a good look at it right there.
That was Sopik who came over. Awfully close to the line there, but they'll get it.
Fraser Sopik, first-year player from Western, really making his presence felt for the Stampeders. Look at this.
Hey, keep it. And Vernon Adams sneaks into the end zone. Touchdown, Alouettes.
Kahari Jones getting creative in these quarterback sneaks. Watch out, Vernon Adams opens to his left-hand side. He's going to open left and come around this way. Find a soft spot with DeVere Posey leading on Michi, this free safety. And he just slides right in the end zone. Boy, it's got to take some guts to turn your back to the defense down on the goal line when you've got a mass of humanity just piled in there. Turn your back, trust the big boys up front for nobody leaking through. And get the job done. Big drive for Montreal.
It's the 12th rushing touchdown of the season for Vernon Adams. That moves him into a tie for the top spot in the CFL. As Boris Beatty comes out to kick the extra point. It was a 79-yard, 10-play drive. Took the first 5 minutes and 1 second off the clock, and you could say an ideal start here for the Montreal Alouettes.
No question. No question. Big time start for the Alouettes.
79 yards, 10 plays. Vernon Adams back in the lineup for the Alouettes, back in the end zone. They lead 7-0. Great start to this game.
I'll be in a Maple Leaf lounge after this ball game, watching game number 2. Get home for game number 3. It's gonna be a great day.
Williams takes the ball just inside his own 10, and Williams will return that to about the 29-yard line for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, I mentioned it takes a lot of guts to turn your back to the defense, and because you are so close to these people, you can smell them, you can hear them, and then what Vernon has to do, he's got to turn his back and center field turn and trust right here that nobody's going to be able to come through this gap, and he's going to follow DeVere Posey out and around and find a little slice of heaven in the end zone.
You like the smell of a defense down right there?
Oh, yeah. You know they're close. They want to get personal.
First touch here for Bo Levi Mitchell. And he'll hand it off to Don Jackson, who moves it right up the middle on the first touch of the football game for the running back. Bo Levi Mitchell, over 1,700 yards now, and still trying to find his game here a little bit as he works his way back in. The bottom line is he's winning. He's winning.
Can you believe that? He's 4-0 in his comeback, and he says he's not even close to being where he wants to be.
Told us yesterday he's about 50% of where he wants to be, which could be bad news for the rest of the league once he hits his stride. There's a completion. Bo Levi Mitchell over the middle, up to the 50-yard line, and that is right into the belly of Eric Rogers for his first catch of the football game.
Yeah, that's a name we'll probably be calling out often here as Eric Rogers is coming left to right. Little dig pattern. Find a nice soft spot in behind the linebackers. Easy pitch and catch.
That is complete and brought up to about the 4 as Sindani with his first catch of the game. Greg Reed with the tackle.
Yeah, Bo Levi Mitchell. I mean, those are the two big guns and the steady guys that have been there. Really, Reggie Bagleton has come up and he's one of the premier receivers in the league. Eric Rogers doing his thing, seeing all kinds of touches, and as they should. And up front, you've got Shane Bergman. Hard to believe and hard to say this. He's 7 years. He's the elder statesman on that offensive line. Got a couple of young bucks at center and right guard working with them, and a couple of guys we're certainly familiar with. Offensive line's been keeping him clean all season long.
2nd and 6 from the 54.
Procedure. Calgary number 60. This is a 5-yard penalty. It will remain 2nd down.
All of the officials got that one. 4 flags flew at the same time. And Dickinson probably not happy. That'll back him up. 2nd and 11 here, close to midfield for the Calgary Stampeders, who have not lost a game since the overtime defeat at home against the Montreal Alouettes. 4-0 since then. Got Bo Levi Mitchell back the following week. Haven't missed a beat since. Here's Bo on his own 40 over the middle, and that one will be complete for a first down. Gets it up to about the 45-yard line to Reggie Bagleton. So Bo Levi Mitchell mixing all of his receivers in here on the first drive.
And watch Bo Levi Mitchell's eyes as he's going to look this way, and he's going to come back to his right side. And just making things look left, and then come back right. Wide open for Bagleton.
Bagleton, one of 4 receivers in the league with 1,000 yards already this time. The outside, and a big collision there. Jannar Jones lowering the boom on Don Jackson.
First year player from Iowa State. Just listen to this. Coming downhill in a hurry.
Jackson was ready for it.
Yeah, well, everything was good, everything was good, everything was good, and it was like, uh-oh. Look out!
2nd and 9 here for the Calgary Stampeders. working on the Montreal 45. Empty backfield for Mitchell. Dumps it off underneath. That'll be complete. This is Josh Huff. Cuts it back and finds some more room on the far side to get the first down. And Josh Huff, another receiver getting in the mix here. It's Bo Levi Mitchell spreading the ball around.
Yeah, Huff's just going to come underneath. And this is a design play to clear him on the other side. So he's going to have to get a lot of help from his teammates and his fellow receivers coming across the field, and watch how they line up as he catches this, and they're all lining up, getting their blocks for him and letting him pick his way through that defense for a first down.
Josh Huff, number of different stops in the National Football League. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Was in the AAF earlier this year, and now he's involved in the offense with the Calgary Stampeders. They trail 7-0 on Super Saturday. There's a look at the Montreal Alouettes defense. Matty trying to slow down the Stampeders here.
Yeah, typically we start out with John Bowman, but he's getting a whole lot of help from Baron Simmons and Fabian Foote, third-year player from McMaster. And those guys are the unsung heroes, so you got to point them out. Patrick Level, Sam linebacker, 71 tackles on the season. Very aggressive football player, and love him. And Tommy Campbell, personal vendetta with Eric Rogers. Check him out.
Something to watch here this afternoon. A completion to Rogers and a first down. And Bo Levi Mitchell making it look pretty easy here so far here as the Stampeders work their way down the field. He's 5 for 5.
Yeah, and it's just pitch and catch time, and intermediate throws for him, a little underneath the Huff, getting some help from his teammates. And Rogers, Bagleton, Huff, and Bo Levi Mitchell leading the way. It's like on Prancer, on Dancer, on Cupid, on Vixen. It just keeps getting the job done, delivering.
He's going to swing Mayala underneath. Now they'll pitch it. And that one will be stopped at the 21 as the Alouettes defense read it well.
Yeah, and they're going to try to get, try to get a little tricky here, and you're going to see cross motion coming in here and over the top, and try to confuse the defense, and there it is, and that's going nowhere in a hurry. Sniffed out by a third-year player from Manitoba, DJ Balama.
10th play of the drive here for the Stampeders. 2nd and 14. The pass is complete to Rogers. Makes a nice move, pushes his head down, and barges close to a first down.
Looks like they're about a yard short, but hell of an effort from Eric Rogers getting the ball underneath. And for a big guy with knee problems that we know he's dealing with, and doesn't seem to slow him down too much here as he gets out of a break quickly, dodges one defender, and does what he can and takes a couple hits trying to reach for that first down.
Greg Reed missed him, but Lacombe was able to track him down just short. So it'll be 3rd and short here for the Calgary offense. They trail 7-0. Less than 4 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, if you're making Greg Reed miss you, you're doing something special.
Arbuckle into the game, short yardage, and he steps over that 5-yard line, which is more than he needed. And that'll be a first down for the Stamps.
Big first down, and looks like Arbuckle's going to stay out there too. Goal line package here. You talk about last time these two teams played. This guy was on fire. I think he threw 4 incompletions the whole night, over 400 yards. And lose. He was amazing.
I don't know if you can have a better game and lose than what Arbuckle had in Week 10 in that overtime loss to the Montreal Alouettes, as John Bowman is getting 10-2 with a grimace on his face. He's on a knee here in Montreal as his defense about to be tested by the Stampeders. Bo Levi Mitchell standing next to his head coach, watching on as it looks as though Nick Arbuckle, after picking up the short yardage push ahead, will stay in the game here and operate 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, and you got a goal line package here, short yardage package that works in this area. And certainly Nick has gotten some valued experience in Bo Levi Mitchell's absence with his torn pec, and see if it pays off for the Calgary Stampeders, who are rolling right now.
He had 370 yards and 4 touchdowns the last time these two teams met. Arbuckle won't even turn to his
boy, wide open!
Oh, no!
That's
Zach Williams!
Oh, that hurts.
He had it. Slipped through his hands.
Oh, I seen him coming out, and he's gonna come right here. I believe he is, and back out this way, somewhere in that vicinity. There it is, and he clears everybody. And you're trying to feather that in there. It's just a little too high for the big guy to corral.
And it was funny, the guy he broke loose from used to play with him in Manitoba, the University of Manitoba.
Yeah.
Williams, a third-round pick, 2019. Bo Levi back in the game here. He'll hand this one off. Spin move to the end zone. Touchdown, Don Jackson. Second of the year for Jackson, and the Calgary Stampeders answer back with a touchdown drive of their own.
Yeah, and this is just power football and zone protection up front, big on big, just letting them chew it out. And I like what I see here, just capping off a tremendous drive. Just watch these big boys get up here, and Donnie's going to follow them. Just get there. Boom, get up to the second level. Wash him down. Oh, that was beautiful. Beloved didn't have a chance, didn't even see the running back. That little spin move there. Just got washed down. Excellent job by the big boys up front, rooting away down there and getting the job done.
Extra point is good, and we are tied at 7. Both teams driving the field on their opening possession and finding the end zone. This time it was Don Jackson capping off a 13-play drive for 81 yards. Took almost 7 minutes. We're tied at 7 in Montreal. Opening drive and ended up with a nice spin move to find his way, I should say, into the end zone and tie this game at 7. We know last time these two clubs met, all heck broke loose right at midfield. Tommy Campbell and McManus, who wasn't in the lineup, led to a full-on brouhaha, which led to some bad blood this week. And for more on that, we're going to send it down on the sidelines to John Liu.
Thank you, Dustin. And in preparation for this rematch this week, the Stampeders' Cordero Law popularized this phrase with his teammates: squash no beef. And that means hold on to any leftover fuel from the first meeting between those teams. And that could be the pregame brawl, it could be the OT loss, any sort of grudge that you could use as long as it's focused and controlled. And speaking of grudges, Tommy Campbell says that he isn't bearing a grudge against his former teammate Winton McManus, but he does say he does have a problem with Eric Rogers, who he had a disagreement with on social media last year. And for the record, Campbell did not cross midfield during the pregame warm-up to say hello to his teammates this week, guys.
So lesson learned, I guess, for Tommy Campbell.
Yeah, there's Campbell there. He's marking his territory. A little reaching across the borders there, across the aisle. There's McManus staring down the aisles. Anybody would look at him.
Walking the line, not crossing it.
I thought it was interesting how Tommy Campbell just blatantly said, I got a problem with E. Rogers. I got a personal vendetta. Goes back to some social media.
That's why social media sometimes isn't the best thing for you, as this is completed near side. First touch of the game for DeVere Posey, as he's got the catch and will hang on as the Alouettes offense gets back out here on the field.
Yeah, Tommy Campbell's one of the best in the league at what he does, and certainly Eric Rogers is one of the best that he does. But unfortunately, they're not one-on-one and very often throughout the course of a ball game. We'll watch out for that, see how things play out. No love lost there.
2nd and 7 for Vernon Adams. Works from his own 40. In trouble. Thought about trying to go up the middle, but eventually there was nowhere to go as Cordero Law got to him.
Yeah, and this is Cordell getting his 9th of the year, 6-year player, and then watch him coming right in here. He comes here and he bubbles out right into Vernon Adams. And Vernon Adams had a combination route to his left. He had to curl wide open. He couldn't get to it because pressure got to him. And first 2 and out of the ball game.
First quarter, both offenses looking pretty good. This is our first punt, first 2 and out of the game. Booming kick from Beattie comes down to Terry Williams at the 28, and Williams will push it back up the right hash. Gets close to about the 38-yard line. A punt of 47 yards.
Got a youngster trying to find some mojo there in Toronto.
Two former Eskimos going head-to-head at the quarterback position later on tonight in Game 3 on the Super Sunday of a triple header here on TSN. Muamba with the tackle there. Nowhere to go.
I absolutely love how this guy comes downhill. Enoch Muamba right into the backfield. Saying, no. Waiting on you. That's film study, that's tendencies, looking at the formation, watching the quarterback's eyes, putting yourself in position, finding that gap, shooting it, and delivering.
Final play of the opening quarter. Some pressure coming here from the Alouettes defense. Mitchell sees it, sends one over the top. Oh, that is complete! And that's going to be taken all the way down inside the 10 to the 5. Perji Mayala, biggest catch of his Canadian Football League career. Fought for a ball, brought it down, and took it 68 yards to wrap up the opening quarter of action. Mayala almost took it the entire way. Eventually tracked down by Lalama, tied at 7. Exciting opening quarter in the books in Montreal. Pretty effective opening quarter for both quarterbacks. 14 of 14.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's not perfect.
How about Bo Levi Mitchell, already over 130 yards in this football game? You have to like the way he's playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams. Vernon got a little pressure on him. Cordero Long got his 9th of the season there to force the first 2 out of the football game. But both quarterbacks start out extremely hot. And why not? You know, a lot on the line for both these football teams, trying to find their mojo early, and they did. And Bo Levi Mitchell got a lot of help from the receiver on that one. I thought Lacombo was going to come up with a pick, but he actually didn't high point it. And Mayala did, and he's off to the races, putting Calgary knocking on the door once again. We saw that in the first drive for Montreal where Eugene Lewis high pointed it. And Brandon Smith was waiting on it and made a big play out of that. So receivers coming up big here for both clubs.
And we've got a flag on the play.
Offside. Calgary number 9. This is a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
He just sorted this one out because Nick Arbuckle was out wide. Trey Roberson was in the game to take that direct snap, and Arbuckle ended up being flagged.
Yeah, they're getting, well, we're seeing some innovation down there by the Calgary Stampeders. Both times knocking on the door in the 1st and 10th place didn't work out well for them.
Now they'll work from the 9. Mitchell completes it to Rogers, tracked down there by arch nemesis Tommy Campbell. So finally got his hands on him.
All right, Eric gets up talking to him. He's got to be pushed away. Separate the two. All right, just going back to Herge Mayala's catch there. Phenomenal catch. And I absolutely love the fact that the kid grew up 25 miles away from Molson Stadium. Coming up big here, putting Calgary and his teammates knocking on the door, hoping to capitalize.
2nd and 5 here for the Stampeders. Mitchell barking out instructions. Has time, looks to the back of the end zone, and that pass falls short and incomplete. The first incompletion of the football game on either side, as Richardson Danny never really had a play on that one.
Yeah, and Bo had one-on-one to the boundary. He chose to go up here and try to hit this, and you're going to get help coming from left to right late, and I think Bo senses that. You're going to see help coming in right there, and I don't think that Bo just was off the mark there, but I'm surprised he went away from his one-on-one opportunity back to his left-hand side.
First incompletion for Bo Levi Mitchell. Vernon Adams is perfect, and Arbuckle with a incomplete pass as well in this game. anytime you can stop that Calgary Stampeders defense inside the 10, it's a victory for the Alouettes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is. But, you know, the red zone, for Bo Levi Mitchell's not been very kind to him. Only 8 of 21, just over 38% completion down there. Again, he struggles. You got to settle for 3, and that's frustrating on the road. And you're in a back-and-forth battle with Winnipeg, Saskatchewan out in the West, and that's a tough one, boy. Those are the ones that drive you crazy as a veteran quarterback. You want to capitalize and come away with 3. It really affects you as a football team.
They did take their first lead of the football game, 10-7. And now this one will be handed off to William Stanback, and Stanback will take it up to about the 40, close to a pickup of about 5 yards for Stanback, taking the ball from his quarterback, Vernon Adams.
Yeah, he was back from suspension after this play. He just threw a pick, and he's not very happy with the result of that play, and he takes Adam Big Hill's helmet off, takes a swing at him, and gets suspended for a game there. Doesn't go to arbitration with it. He decided to take his medicine and get to lick his wounds. It's tough watching his team lose last week, and it's a tight one. He's back looking to make things.
Gunned that one in there, looking for Lucier, but it was defended well, batted down. First incompletion of the game for Vernon Adams.
Yeah, Felix Lucier, he's looking left, comes back right to the curl route, and steps up. And I think Lucier's waiting on it as the defender's breaking on it, and simply that's not what you want to happen. Be a little more aggressive back to the football. You got a completion.
Roberson in on the defensive play there for the Stampeders. Back-to-back 2-and-outs for the Montreal Alouettes after driving the field on their first drive. 5 minutes to take a 7-0 lead. Williams will take this just inside his own 20. A 52-yard punt. It's going to be returned by Williams, looking for the far side of the field. And eventually he was taken down and tripped up there by Greg Reed on the special teams tackle. Stampeders with a 10-7 lead as we start to dive right into Super Saturday here on TSN. A look at both coaches, Dave Dickinson and Kahari Jones. They seem nice and calm on the sidelines right now. But
what's going on with these quarterbacks? These coaches that used to be quarterbacks a little hot under the collar.
Here they are before the game.
Get in this building to get the job done. Believe in me, coach. Go show me what you got. Kick ass on 3. 1, 2, 3. Kick ass.
I trust each and every one of you guys to do your job. Trust us to do our job. Let's go out there and have some fun. Let's kick some ass. Let's go.
We got a theme going, don't we? Somebody's going to get their butt kicked in today's game.
Both guys fired up and off to a great start here. 10-7. Calgary got it. Mitchell's going to take another deep shot, and that'll be complete down inside the 40. Josh Huff sneaking in behind the D.
Yeah, this is from a quarterback who struggled with the deep ball, only completed 25% of his throws. He's right here, straight down the football field to track me. Bo Levi Mitchell this is pitch and catch. This is as easy as it gets. Nobody touches that defender. And you got another big play, big completion. First one to Mayala for 68. And now another one, 43 yards. Bo Levi's fielded it, pushing the ball downfield.
This time he's going to hand it off to Jackson. Jackson finally tracked down from behind after he managed to move it down inside the 35.
Yeah, in fact, Calgary's they now got 6 plays of 13 or plus more yards, and they're getting in big chunks right now against a tough Montreal defense, making it look fairly easy.
One of the interesting storylines is that Tevin Floyd, who was starting at linebacker for Montreal, had to leave the game early, and DJ Lalama has come in here. Montreal's gone at him a couple of times. Now Mitchell with some pressure had to throw it away. Was looking once again for Huff, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, coming right off the edge, unabated to the quarterback. Bo Levi Mitchell feels it. He's got to throw across his body. Can't get enough on it. And out falls harmlessly to the field. Now Rene Paredes is going to come in there and do what he does, clicking at about an 85% 1-for-1 on the day. 34-40 on the season.
It'll be a 40-yarder straight away for Paredes. And that one is wide left. Greg Reed will bring it out. Greg Reed's going to try to find a little bit of room. And he'll take it back up to about the 14. So a rare miss from Paredes. Opportunity to put his team on top by 6. Here's a good look at it as he just pulled it a little bit. Alouettes back on the field next. PM Pacific only on TSN. Vernon Adams and the Alouettes back out here. A couple back-to-back 2 and out, so they're trying to get some momentum going here.
And they got Spencer Wilson playing tight end as extra defender, and he gets the edge for Vernon.
Did Winicky come down with it? Oh my goodness! When I saw it bounce up, I didn't think he had a shot at it.
Yeah, I was just talking to one of our helpers up here, a guy that knows a little bit about football, Mo Khan, and I was just saying to Mo that, hey, these receivers are winning the battle today because they're high pointing everything. And he goes up and gets it, doesn't catch it the first time. They just got a chance to pull it down, but Winicky pulls it down for another big play.
1st and 10 now for Montreal on their own 35. This time they'll give it to Stanback, and he has nowhere to go. Back to the line of scrimmage and no further against that Calgary defense.
Yeah, I absolutely love the play call on 1st and 10 to Winicky there, moving the pocket, getting Vernon on the edge, and then this one they're trying to establish the line of scrimmage, keep Stanback involved, and Calgary's up to the task.
3 targets to the left here for Adams. 2nd and 9 after they gave Stanback a yard. He'll stand in to the right of his quarterback here. Adams near side of the field. Eugene Lewis goes up for this one, and that time Roberson was able to stick underneath. And we've got an injured Alouette down on the field. The officials calling for help right away. Tony Washington.
Here's a look at the last play. He got a lot of verticals going down the field. VA looks left, goes right. Trey Roberson baits him, falls underneath it because he's got nobody area outside in front of him, no responsibility, and he just falls back under it. This will be a good look at it. Watch. Pushes him inside, what you want to do. No pressure in front of you, so just drift back, see if you can high point it. Eugene gets up a little taller. It's surprising because Trey goes at 6 feet, and we know he's a thief with 7 on the year, so I just one of those things where I think receivers are just now outplaying DBs to the football.
It's one of the better battles to watch as we work our way through this game. Eugene Lewis versus Trey Roberson. Right now, Roberson and the Stampeders leading 10-7. Cart has been brought out here for Tony Washington. His teammates will lift him up onto the back of it, and he's in significant pain with his right leg, and we'll give you another look at exactly what happened to the starting left tackle for the Alouettes.
Yeah, and you really don't have, there's really nothing you can do about this type of play. You're going to watch Cordero Law push into Tony, and then it's going to be Kasher coming from the other side over here as he washes Vernon Adams in the back of Tony. Cordero pushes Washington back. He's holding his ground. Vernon Adams goes down as Kasher takes him down right into Tony's right ankle, and that's where the damage occurs. You hate to see that as he's such an instrumental part of that offensive line, the left tackle, blind side of a quarterback, 9th-year player from Abilene Christian. Tony Washington been holding it down for the last couple of years at that spot for the Alouettes.
Yeah, you know, he's had a lot of stops before coming here to Montreal, but he actually started his career with the Calgary Stampeders back in 2011. So Washington being taken off.
Yeah, Cordero Law just doing his job, trying to get to the quarterback as well as Kasher. Kasher does, takes Vernon right into Washington, and got changes up front for the Montreal Alouettes.
Like you said, can't really do anything about that one. Now this will be kicked away from the 25. Williams waiting for it. That's going to take a bounce.
That hit 40.
And Williams really nowhere to go. Takes it back to about the 38-yard line. And Bo Levi Mitchell back onto the field. More on Bo. Let's send it down to John.
Thank you, Dustin. And even though Bo Levi Mitchell has engineered 4 straight victories since coming back from his pectoral injury at the start of September, he says that he's only at about 40 to 50% of his potential, and that's a pretty harsh critique, but he's basing that on plays, simple plays that he would make with his feet or his arm that normally would be 100% automatic, but he's not making them with frequency enough to his liking. And well, that's just really the reality of him coming back after being off for the entire months of July and August, and it frustrates him because it's purely physical. Really has nothing to do with preparation. Guys?
188 yards in the game so far for Mitchell. This time he hands it off for a carry on first down.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if that's good news for the rest of the football league when Bo Levi Mitchell assesses his performance like that. The guy, yeah, he hasn't really been lighting it up, but he just keeps winning. Got the best winning percentage in the history of Canadian Football League, which is absolutely just ridiculous amount. And when he says that he's clicking at about a 50% rate, that gets your attention.
Shovels it for a first down as he gave it to Williams that time, and that'll move the chains here for the Stampeders.
Yeah, 815 winning percentage for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Is that good, Matty?
That's just ridiculous, and that's just scary. And 74, 16, and 2. And on the road, you know, it's a tough place to win when you're not in your own confines, in your backyard, McMahon Stadium. He does pretty good there, too. 33 and 9.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
He's got 1st and 10 here from midfield. 3 targets to his left. That's where he's going to look. Now he's going to go over the middle. Mayala again hauls it in. Couple of huge catches by Herji Mahala so far in this football game.
Yeah, coming right at you. Bo Levi had Mayala earlier, but he chose not to, and he's looking down the rail shot. Then he comes back to Mayala right there, and just Mayala again high points it as the defender goes low. Comes up with another big catch.
Mayala coming into this game just 16 catches, but had only been targeted 21 times, had a catch rate of 76%, and he's come up with 2 big ones so far in this game. 95 yards on the 2 catches so far. 1st and 10 from the Montreal 28. Bo Levi's going to look to the end zone again. Touchdown! Josh Huff. There is a flag at the 4.
This is just a clinic now for the deep ball with Bo Levi Mitchell. And you heard John Lou talk about it down on the football field there, saying that Bo's clicking at a 40 to 50% rate on it. And I know, looking at his stats on the deep ball, of anything over 20 yards, Bo Levi was 9 to 36 for 25% completion percentage, and he's fixing that this afternoon.
Here's another look at Mitchell.
And Bo's got the curl, but he wants to go deep, and he's got all kinds of protection. Nobody around him.
Action on the play. Result of the play is a touchdown for Calgary.
And Huff is stepping up big. As Ryan Dinwiddie was telling us before the ball game, they expect somebody else to step up, and they need somebody else. And this guy, Josh Huff, is making that happen this afternoon.
First touchdown for Josh Huff is a big one. And the extra point, Paredes. This one's good. Right down the middle, 16 to 7. Calgary Stampeders with the lead. A look at Josh Huff and Reggie Begelton.
Hey, ball.
Yeah, this is what you want. He's right here. He's right here, just gonna run, just run by the guy. Bo Levi Mitchell's gonna utilize the time that he's given from his offensive line. Little stop and go. Bo Levi launches it, and 83's got his first, and Bo is 4 for 4 on deep balls, 20 yards plus, 160 yards, 66 yards passing, feeling it, pushing the ball down the field.
He'd be a good guy to have in fantasy today.
Well, yeah, he would. I love the fact that 19's got gunslinger tattooed on his arm, and that's what he's doing this afternoon.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 243 yards passing with 5:10 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, our crack statistician just keeps feeding us with these gems. Johnny Russin says 7 of his 15 completions are for more than 15 yards plus.
Decent start to the day then, is what we're saying.
Yeah, correction, 7 to 12 of his completions are 15 plus. And that just tells me he's feeling it, his arm's feeling better, more confident, and certainly his receivers are high pointing and making a lot of catches for him.
Julian Grant on the return. Reminder coming up at the half. The best panel in the biz, led by the legend. Rod will have them going.
I enjoyed Henry's call last night in Hamilton, along with CC in the recognition of the '99 Grey Cup Championship football team, and Rob Hitchcock going into the Wall of Honor in the Hamilton Tirecast, justifiably so. He earned that Ring of Honor accolade, and it's good to see him up against Paul Osbaldis and Angela Moscott, some of his teammates and heroes growing up in Hamilton.
Long day for that panel, 9 hours of coverage here on TSN today. A completion on the far side to Quan Bray. And after the opening drive of this game for the Alouettes, they've kind of struggled to get things going offensively. It's been 17 consecutive points here for the visitors.
Well, it's been keep away. Calgary, whenever they get the football, they just keep it, and they just are making things happen, and it's tough to get in a rhythm when a team's dominating the time of possession. And Bo Levi Mitchell and company on the road here, where they've struggled the last 5 times in Montreal, only 1 and 4, have really done a nice job keeping the ball away from Montreal.
Calgary's had the ball for 4.5 more minutes than the Alouettes. They're going to try to strike here. Ooh, and that one looked like it went through the hands of Eugene Lewis, who's visibly frustrated on the sidelines.
Yeah. In sit-downs yesterday, VA's talking about how sometimes he's got to be a little more patient and dump it down. And Eugene's got a little bit of room there, but not much, because you got Brandon Smith, the veteran 12-year player coming over, has gotten deep outside third. That ball's put into the field of play. I think it's coming the other way.
Alouettes will be forced to kick this away with less than 4 minutes remaining, and they trail by 10 here at home. Excellent crowd and a beautiful Saturday in Montreal. BD lets it fly. That'll come down at the 35 to Terry Williams. There's a flag as Williams works his way back up to about the 46 for the Calgary Stampeders. The Stampeders offense that has been moving the ball extremely well so far here today because of the arm on that man.
Yeah, and it's good to see him slinging on the iron. I'm not sure if it's 100% yet, but he's feeling pretty comfortable with it, giving his receivers a chance down the football field, really putting pressure on a solid defense in the Montreal Alouettes.
There are 2 fouls on the plate. The first one is holding Calgary number 44. That penalty is declined. The second one is holding Calgary number 21. That foul occurred while the ball was in the air. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from where the ball was caught. First down.
We're going to watch the hold here right at the line of scrimmage, and yeah, it's he's got his hands inside, but they're kind of underneath the top, but he's got to get off of that. That's some grip strength right there.
They were locked in. 4 targets to the left. That's where they're going to go. And it'll be complete. Brings it out over the 30 into the hands of Sindani, his second catch of the football game. Pick up a 7.
Talking to Bo before the ball game. Dave Dickinson, just making the comparison to Calgary Stampeders, very similar to me. They're like the New England Patriots in the CFL, the way they do it with Dave Dickinson, John Humpnagel, and Bo Levi Mitchell. Change the cast of characters around them, but they continually get it done. Play at a high level, set the benchmark.
We've hit the 3-minute warning in Montreal in the first game of a triple header here on TSN. It's the Stampeders leading 17-7.
Matty.
What's it like for those guys on a triple header on the panel, Matt?
I'm usually on the road because I've done them before, but they settle in. You know, shoes are off. The guys hanging out, shirts are untucked, eating a lot of pizza. Milt's working out.
There's Mitchell in trouble, but he finds Huff again. Huff puts on the brakes and eventually is wrapped up, but he's got enough for the first down, and Josh Huff has been heavily involved in this offense so far today.
Yeah, he has, and there's a lot of that goes on in the studio as well. A lot of competition with this whole fantasy stuff that goes on now. And it's a lot of fun, particularly when you got the right guys on your team.
Now they'll swing it out on the far side and a good push ahead. That was Don Jackson on first down. He gets the bulk of what they're going to need, setting up a 2nd and short.
Yeah, so, you know, Don Jackson's per example. You know, sometimes you'd have him, maybe Terry Williams. You know, he had Carey before he got injured. It's one of those scenarios where you just have a lot of fun. And I can see where fantasy's taking off. And because you don't, game can be out of hand, but you're still vested and interested. You don't have to be a fan of football. Just have a guy in the race, and you're interested, and your eyes are in the game, and I love that aspect.
2nd, and they need 2, and they got to, as once again, Don Jackson running with authority, takes it up to the 50 with just over 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, this is where you want to make something happen here. Really distance yourself from Montreal if you're Bo Levi Mitchell here. Keep these chains moving, put some more points on the board, and take some momentum into the half in a big way.
Calgary has not had to punt the ball yet. Mitchell knew pressure was
they had the right play there.
Got rid of it quickly. And staying on his feet down the sideline, Reggie Begelton.
Watch the pressure coming up both edges, and they got the right play dialed up as they just kick it out. You're going to come off the edge here and come off the edge here. You can't see the defenders because they're coming scot-free. There's levels coming in. Dish it out. Begelton's off to the race. He's got an escort for a first down.
Mwamba had a crack at him, but Begelton stayed on his feet, takes it down inside the 40. 3rd catch of the day for Begelton. That sets them up 1st and 10 at the Montreal 38. Empty backfield for Mitchell. Oh, and it's intercepted! Picked off at the 46, read extremely well. And going up and coming down with it was Ryan Brown.
Yeah, he just verticaled here. He saw this whole play, read it, first-year player from Mississippi State. This is beautiful. Yeah, I believe he's right. Let me see. I believe he's right here. Just going to stand kind of straight up. Get his footing. Sense that the offensive lineman let him go. Read it. Vertical, uses athletic ability. Huge play for Montreal. See if they can't put some points on going into half.
6'5" frame of Ryan Brown picking off Bo Levi Mitchell. Alouettes trying to be in business. Here's Quan Bray up to midfield, a pickup of about 8 on the first down catch with 1:46 remaining.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need if you're Montreal. Calgary's driving there once again. Going to try to distance themselves, but Ryan Brown said not today.
That'll be pushed ahead. Easy first down there for Montreal, who had 10 plays on their opening drive of the game. And now they're just over 10 the rest of the way here so far.
Plenty of time, 1:37 on the clock.
Jones working from the Calgary 51. He's going to take a deep shot down the field. Up for grabs. He got it. Eugene Lewis went up and came down with the ball inside the 10.
Boy, if I'm Joshua Bell, defensive backfield coach for the Calgary Stampeders, or I'm Morris Lawler, defensive backfield coach for Montreal, I'm livid because you're just getting outplayed by these receivers from both sides. High point of football.
First and 10 here. They'll dump it off underneath. And that's taken down inside the 5 by Stanback.
Yeah, this is just big catch by none other than Eugene Lewis, just going up and getting this ball. Right over the top as Brandon Smith goes low. Roberson is in trail. And Lewis has got 4 for 86 in the half of football. Having a day.
Lewis has found that spot in behind Roberson a couple of times. Now here's Vernon Adams near side, and that one falls incomplete. Looking for Stanback again.
Yeah.
And that'll bring up third down with less than a minute to play.
And Brandon Smith, 12-year player, just been victimized a couple times over the top, not high-pointing things. Eugene Lewis having his way with him. Here he comes up and says, no. Even if you caught that ball, you're not getting in the end zone, William Stanback.
Montreal will not mess around here. They'll take the points and cut the lead to 7. It'll be a chip shot for Boris Beatty.
Plenty of time for Bo to go back to work with 57 seconds on the clock.
Definitely will still be some time. Schultz to hold from straight away, 11-yarder, and that is belted through. And a turnover at midfield. A big play to Eugene Lewis, and just like that, it's a 7-point football game.
Yeah, and I said it earlier with Bo Levi Mitchell in the red zone not being consistent as he wants to be, and I know that Vernon Adams is thinking the same thing. They'll take the 3. Big momentum shift here, but they wished for the 7.
And you mentioned there's still some time here for Bo Levi Mitchell at least to get within field goal range and get those 3 points back.
Yeah, and this is a great duel. You know, right now these receivers are flexing their muscles, and we know these quarterbacks aren't shy about pushing it down the field. And these guys are coming up big for them on the back end. The DBs are really suffering here in the first half. Getting schooled by some receivers that are coming back to the football for the most part and coming up with some big-time catches.
Mitchell is 15 of 18 for 274 yards late here in the first half. Over the middle again. And that ball held on to at the 50 by Josh Huff.
He's had a half himself, and that ball had no room for error as Bo Levi Mitchell hung on to it. Watch it. Hang, 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 hang. And then it's like, heater. Stuck it right in there.
Now come on the near side, Mayala again. And he will be wrapped up and taken down. There's a flag at the 50 on the far side of the field.
Well, it's Mayala, it's Huff.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like we've seen some Rogers, we've seen a little bit of Bagleton, but these are other guys that Bo Levi's got
Offside.
going today.
Calgary number 83, a 5-yard penalty.
That's not.
It remains first down.
That's not how you want to be recognized. Trying to get points on the board before half, jumping off sides, and Huff knows that. But yeah, they've stepped up in a big way, and the coaching staff's been waiting for it because Rogers and Bagleton need some help down the stretch.
First and 15 with 30 seconds on the clock for Mitchell. Empty backfield here now. Jackson flared out to his right. He'll look to the 50. That'll be complete. Ball pops loose. Scooped up by the Alouettes. Jannard Jones had waiting arms, and it bounced right in.
Yeah, that's E. Rogers. He made the catch, and he's trying to work for a first down. The ball stripped out. And now Vernon Adams has got a little opportunity here before the half to get more points. 29 seconds on the clock. A lot can happen. Here's the play. Mayumba, he misses, and it's Levels that strips the ball out. And it's Jones that picks it up. See what they can do.
Montreal's defense coming up big late in the second quarter. Vernon Adams, will he take a shot here with 29 seconds left? Near side of the field, that'll be complete. And taken up over the 50. Lucier with a catch.
Had a chance to talk to Lucier right before the game started. He's loving this atmosphere. He loves October football. Who doesn't? Got a triple header for you today. Got this one, the barn burner so far. Big plays happening all over the place.
Here's Adams with less than 20 seconds to play. Dumps it off underneath. A ton of room for Stanback. He'll get it. Oh, that's a flag. A monstrous block on the far side of the field. That'll be flagged. Most definitely.
That's a crackback, and that's been taken, eliminated from the game. Now things are heating up here.
Eugene Lewis, Raheem Wilson getting in on it.
Yeah, you can see that one playing itself out. And saw the defender in a trail as Stanback was turning upfield looking for some room, and Eugene came back towards his goal line. You can't do that on a defender. Here's a look at it. Coming left to right. Stanback is there, dumps it down, and there's the block. And that is just a crackback block. You just can't have that. It's lights out. Amos doesn't know it's coming.
Ooh.
He's defenseless. We used to call that a decleater back in the day. We used to count them. And running total all season.
Who had the most decleaters?
Decleaters, yeah. You just knock somebody in the next week, and that's a decleater, and that's been eliminated.
Unnecessary roughness, blindside block. Montreal number 87. The foul occurred after yards were gained. We're going to go back 15 yards from point where the ball was held, and a first down Montreal.
Well, with 10 seconds left on the clock here, that takes them out of any type of scoring opportunity, and they may have to push it down the field here and see what they can get, as that kind of fits the bill for this first half anyways.
Been a wild first half, as expected after the game that these two teams had in week 10. Oh my goodness, that might have been a pick six.
Trey had his 8th for sure if he can come up with that, and points them to going the other way.
If anybody in the league is going to take that one back, you think it's Roberson.
Yeah, right at you. This is what Trey's looking at. He's in his break right now. Undercuts Johnson, Jeremiah Johnson in there, and he's got nobody in front of him, just nothing but green pastures and an easy walk-in from about 50 yards out. I tell you, Joshua Bell's going to have some words for his DBs at halftime.
2nd and 10 now here, and they'll just tuck it in the belly of Jeremiah Johnson. Johnson will push it ahead, takes it up to about midfield, and that is where the first half will come to a close. And what a first half it was.
Yeah, it was Jeremiah Johnson in the ball game there. It makes you wonder, scratch your head about William Stanback there towards the end of the half here. But boy, this has been a shootout. Quarterbacks are swinging it all over the field.
313 yards for Bo Levi Mitchell. 17-10, Calgary leads. Lots to discuss with the panel. Second half action here in Montreal is just around the corner. The Alouettes trail 17-10. John Lewis with head coach Kahari Jones.
Kahari, did you see signs in your offense's final drive of the first half that it could be finding ways to counteract the Calgary defense?
Yeah, we were doing some good things. We were in a little bit of hurry up, so we may do some more hurry up this half, and hopefully we can just get going and get into a rhythm. That's been the toughest thing. We've been getting some big plays, but no rhythm.
You're only in a 7-point deficit, which is not much in the big picture for your club, given its history this season. But how is that task complicated, losing your starting blindside protection in Tony Washington?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's a big blow to us. But the guys up front, they'll rally. They'll rally. We got some really good players up there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Thanks for this, Kahari.
Thanks.
Underway in the third quarter, a return there from Terry Williams, which sets the stage for Bo Levi. Excellent first half for Mitchell, and he's back out here looking for more, Matt.
Yeah, and he was aggressive in that first half. I mentioned earlier that Bo Levi Mitchell's deep ball this year struggled 9 of 36 coming to this ball game at 25% completion percentage. He goes and writes that in a hurry. He goes 6 for 6. The ball's completed over 20 yards for 219 yards in the first half alone. So Bo Levi Mitchell continues to hone his game in 2019.
Calgary 1-4 in their last 5 visits to Montreal, looking to change that here today. And they'll hand it off in the first play of the third quarter. Don Jackson wrapped up.
Yeah, and this is what Bo did in the first half, and he was aggressive and getting a lot of help from some different fellas. Mayala coming up huge, high pointed, over the top to Hump a couple of times, and he was airing it out, feeling good on a beautiful autumn day here. And then it was just Ryan Brown who said, hey, I'm going to put an end to all this madness, and intercepted him right there before half, taking points off the board.
And that turnover led to 3 points the other way, and that ball thrown way too high.
More pressure right in the face of Bo Levi Mitchell. He tries to throw a quick slant there in second and medium to long, and pressure's coming off the edge. And
you want to see a little bit more of this from Montreal in the second half?
well, they're going to mix it up. They're not going to, Levels tries to get his hand up, and that ball's intended for Huff. And he can't pull it down because of the pressure and Levels getting in his face.
And here's the look for the first time today at Rob Maber. Comes out and kicks this away. And Mario Alford finds some room. Mario Alford looking to the sideline. He's going to go. Mario Alford on the way to the house. Touchdown, Alouettes. Wow. They brought him into the lineup this week to return kicks.
Sit down, Chris Matthews, healthy scratch, in steps Mario Alford, who played for the Argonauts briefly in 2018 as a receiver, but Alford says, just let me return punts. And the first punt of the day for Rob Maber is to the house. Oh my, Quan Bray's running right down the field with him. This guy has been doing that. The guy that he's replacing that department, and he's the first guy down there to congratulate him as he crosses the end zone.
Extra point from Beatty is good, and we are tied at 17. Some early fireworks in the second half in Montreal. Alford high-stepping to the house. Tied at 17 early in the third quarter.
He replaces Quan Bray, who's become a full-time receiver and contributing in that area. He's the first guy down there to greet him in the end zone. 18 kick returns in the first 35 games in the CFL. In the last 26, there's only been one. Make that 2, courtesy of Mario Alford.
Alford was a state champion in the 100-meter, ran a 10.77. So when he was gone, he was gone. Here's Terry Williams will bring it back, and Williams will get it up to the 30. So this Montreal defense is going to have to go to work and see what they do here. No more Ryan Carter and no more Tevin Floyd, as those guys have left this game due to injury.
God, you got 2 quality special team coordinators in this football game. And right there, you got Mark Killam scratching his head as the Montreal special teams gets things done for Mickey Donovan.
Here's Mitchell trying to answer back. A big play to Reggie Begelton. And Begelton will eventually be knocked down just short of midfield as Bo Lacombo was in his face on that completion.
Yeah, and all day long to throw the football. And just watch the protection up front. Bo Levi standing there, spots it. Boy, it's a touch ball right there. Right over the top of Lama. touch pass by Bo Levi. Sometimes you got to gun it, sometimes you got to feather it.
1st and 10 from the 54 here for Calgary. 4 receivers to the left for Bo Levi. And they're going to swing it underneath. And that'll be brought up to the 50 by Josh Huff.
Nice play by Greg Reed, open field. Limits that gain. Seen a couple of those designs by Calgary, misdirection, little shovels, people going to just trying to get the defense to freeze just a minute to create a lane and some space for some playmakers. That time, Greg Reed said, not now.
Trying to open up Huff, who has some speed. Return kicks in the National Football League, and now settling into his home here with the Calgary Stampeders. Terry Williams in the game to the right of Bo Levi.
Bob Slowett looking for a defensive stop right here.
Mitchell gunned that one. It was a little low. Huff slid in underneath it.
Huff is on fire.
Held on.
Yeah, I mean, and Bo tried this in the first half. I watched him go to his right, and his shoulders completely facing the boundary, and he throws across his body. Gets enough on this one. Huff digs it out, secures the catch, moves the chains.
Got 7 catches for 120 yards for Josh Huff and his first touchdown.
Breakout game
in the Canadian Football League. Mitchell, near side, completion, 1st down and more. They'll take it down inside the 25. Ball pops loose, scooped up. Johnny on the spot there. They're able to take over. That's Dominique Termanson, who's in the game due to the injury to Ryan Carter. A flag back at midfield. Everything happening here right now at Molson Stadium.
Bo Levi's trying to get the word. He's in on that huddle. I mean, Huff caught that ball and made a couple people miss, and then it was Montreal defenders in the secondary coming up and making it, jarring that ball loose. And it looks like that turnover is going to stand for the Owls.
Dickinson not happy. Termanson, for the most part, just special teams so far this year.
Yeah. Head coach Dave Dickinson just wants an explanation. He's, come on, give it to me over here. Dial me in.
Hey, what's up, what's up?
That's momentum right there. Slows was looking for some defensive stop, didn't get it on the second and medium, got a turnover on the next play.
Well, 2 turnovers at the end of the first half, and now another one here.
During the play, there was a major foul, face mask by Calgary on Montreal, number 94. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the play, and a 1st down Montreal.
Well, no wonder the ball's knocked out. Well, Prosecco Lacombo just, he'll jar anybody away from anything if he wants it bad enough. He wanted that one. And the way that Huff was handling the ball, you just knew that was coming out.
That's the first forced fumble by Lacombo this season. He had recovered one a little bit earlier. Now the Alouettes tied at 17. I'll hand this one off to Sandbeck, and Sandbeck over 100 yards last week. I mean, not really been able to get much going so far today against the Stampeders defense.
Yeah, absolutely right. And, you know, you're watching this is Derek Wigan who makes that stop. And when Sandbeck gets his momentum going downhill, he's a big back. We know that, and he's powerful. He hit Wiggins, and it's like he hit a brick wall. It just stopped him in his tracks.
That front four for Calgary, formidable. 21 sacks combined between the 4 of them. Today doing a good job against the run here as well. Here's Adams, near side, and trying to one-hand that one was Devere Posey, who's had a really quiet game. And he was not able to haul that one in. Hawley in coverage.
Yeah, one of my favorite players this year is Nate Hawley in tight coverage there. Didn't have a lot of room for error from the throw from Vernon, and you can see it coming right at you. Right out of his break, Posey, I think the ball exploded on him late. Couldn't get 2 hands on it, and Hawley was right there in his back pocket, making it tough on Vernon.
Posey just 1 catch so far today. Short one for 3 yards. Beatty out here to kick it away. He'll stand on his 25. Back on the Calgary 20. Terry Williams waiting for the kick. Williams will slide in under it at the 26. Looks to the far side of the field. Now cuts it back up. broke a couple of tackles and eventually ran out of room at the 37-yard line as the Calgary Stampeders offense heading back out on the field looking to recover after a fumble from Huff caused by the shoulder of Lacombo. We're tied at 17 in Montreal. Unanswered at one point. Now have turned the ball over in 3 of their last 4 possessions. Don Jackson back in the game. He'll flare out to the right of Mitchell, who finds Reggie Begelton, and Begelton will pick up about 5 or 6 there on that first down catch.
And he's spread around a little bit. They wanted some help from a couple other receivers. If you're a defense coming in, you figure take away Eric Rogers and Reggie Begelton, make the other guys beat you. Well, Josh Huff and Herge Mayala have been doing just that. Over 200 yards between those two and 120 plus between the mainstays.
Mayala, the 8th overall pick in the 2019 draft out of UConn, making an impact. Stampeders receivers, I think, were a little early on this one as the flag does fly. We haven't had many flags in the game so far. Both saying it's against Montreal.
Offside. Montreal, the defensive line was lining up offside. This is a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay second down.
It's always, you know, always nice when nobody gets singled out like that. Yeah, it's like the whole line.
Maybe it was you, maybe it was you.
Guilty, 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 guilty.
It'll be 2nd and 1. Arbuckle into the game. Short yardage here. Quick breather. And a look from the sideline for Mitchell.
That defensive line that was just offside, they really stepped it up here in the last 7-8 minutes of play right before the half and beginning of this third quarter. They've been outstanding.
Arbuckle will keep this one in an easy push ahead as he slides behind the right side of his line and picks up the first down for Calgary.
Charlie Power getting into it, doesn't like what somebody has got to say to him. This is a look at the chaos, controlled chaos in there. Oh, Charlie got pushed late, didn't he? You see what you got upset about. I would too.
Arbuckle gets a fresh set of downs for Mitchell. Slides back in here with Don Jackson in behind him. Couple of targets to the left for Mitchell. He'll give it to Jackson. Jackson bounces it up to midfield. Wow. And pushes ahead for a few extra yards that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, he didn't get touched till 5 yards down the field, and Montreal brings a free safety up. You can see Lacombo right over the top of Bo Levi's shoulder, left shoulder, 20 staring right at you. He's no free safety in the middle, so looks like a run blitz, but they find some room in the middle and they churn out 9.
Back to a 2nd and 1. Arbuckle back in the game here. Quick drink on the sideline for Bo.
You know, he wants to get back out there and right this ship.
Arbuckle's going to slide out wide. Roberson into the game. Roberson's going to keep it, and he will get the first down.
Man.
Took a good pop there as well from Lacombo.
Of course, Joseka Lacombo is making a name for himself in his 5th year if he hadn't already, but this year specifically at laying the lumber. And he just scrapes and he finds Trey Roberson, who doesn't carry the ball very often, seeing something unique here from the Calgary Stampeders and putting him in there. And Trey picks up the first down, but well earned.
Stampeders sustaining a drive here. Make sure they look after the ball this time. Mitchell has a man over the middle. He's got him. That'll be complete. And that'll be close to a first down there as Begelton. Triple team by the Alouettes defense.
Yeah, you got Begelton coming from right to left. He's going to come in the area right over the top of the quarterback. And as Rogers picks up 3 defenders, opens up some space for his buddy across the field.
Mitchell is slowly creeping towards 400 yards here as we pass the midway point of quarter number 3.
Yeah, you know, it's typically not Bo's style. You know, he really doesn't throw for those type of big numbers. He just systematically. Nice shot. Oh, look at that. Another batted ball.
He was trying to get rid of that one quickly. And the Alouettes were on top of it.
And that was Muamba. Enoch. You know, he's done his film study.
He knew what was coming?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's right here. And watch him just come in here real quick, get his hands up. Bo tries to get rid of it quickly. Right arm of Muamba.
Stampeders 2nd and 10, 11 of 15 on second down attempts today. Mitchell throwing the entire way. Begelton underneath. Begelton with the first down. And they got just enough to do it. Why not go back to Reggie Begelton, one of 4,000-yard receivers in the league this season?
Yeah, and they're just bringing people here, and you're gonna watch this whole area open up. Bo Levi Mitchell says, "You're gonna vacate that area and bring heat, both levels in the middle linebacker, Muamba." I know I'm going with the football, and he's got time. No problem completing the ball to Begelton.
1st and 10 for Calgary. Now down on the Montreal 27. That's Mayala in motion behind Mitchell. They go back to Begelton again. Oh, pops loose another time. Is Calgary on it this time?
Level says it's their ball.
Level says it's theirs, and it is. Wow. 4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions for the Calgary Stampeders. This ball popping loose.
They're hitting down there, man. This defense has stepped it up, and they're separating the ball from the carrier and capitalizing in a big way.
Reggie Begelton has it knocked loose by the right arm of Muamba. Alouettes defense stepping up here in a tie game.
Yeah, and this is a fumble, and he's just key number 10 right in the middle of your screen. Has had a good series right here. Begelton, he comes in there with his right shoulder and arm, which already affected this drive on a batted ball. And then that's the 4th turnover in the last 5 possessions for Calgary. And with the big punt return for a touchdown to start this 3rd quarter, and these 4 turnovers, Montreal sees momentum, but they've only got 3 points to show for it.
Need something more, maybe on this drive here. Here's Adams. Far side, high ball. That one sails well over the head of Eugene Lewis.
Yeah, and something had to cause that ball. Maybe he couldn't step into it, or somebody hit his arm. It didn't look like they had any heat in the kitchen, but that ball just sailed on him. Take a peek at it. Eye in the sky won't lie. Yeah, he's got pressure. He can't step into that.
He was more throwing that away.
Top.
Yeah.
Can't follow through. Natural motion or pull and rip it down. You can't do it.
2nd and 10. Adams coming to the near side, and miscommunication there possibly. As he was looking for Lewis again.
Oh, he just got happy feet there. And the natural time clock in a quarterback's head was just off there for Vernon Adams, because he felt like he was getting pressure and had to get rid of it, but he didn't have to. And again, 4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions for the Alouettes. And they've only got 3 points to show for it. They're going to have to punt the ball. Beatty is punting from his own 3.
Good field position coming up here for the Stampeders, as that'll be taken by Williams at his own 45. Williams right up the middle of the field. Flag does fly. Williams going to be tracked down from behind. Yes. Tripped up and falls at around the 25, but a flag back at midfield on the return there from Williams, and we will sort it out rather when we come back. Williams is frustrated with himself there. This one might be coming back anyway, as Williams working his way against the Montreal special teams in a tie game. Calgary Stampeders will get the ball back here after that return, but they have been backed up a little bit. And here's another look at it.
Yeah, it's going to be right here as we're going to watch the hold at the end of the play.
Lorenzo Jerome, the guilty party.
first-year player from St. Francis, Pennsylvania. And, I mean, he did a nice job, but that was just, I think, better hustle trying to get to the football, drawing that hold. And that's all it is in those teams, is a whole lot of desire, certainly skill set, but that guy right there, we know that he's got a lot of desire and a tremendous skill set, sitting at 133, looking for another one right here. Got to get Calgary off the field once again, see if they can't get their offense an opportunity to kickstart here in the second half.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 405 yards already. Just the third 400-yard game of his career.
Another batted ball as Bo Levi tries to get him down, and he just kind of flicks it. As Antonio Simmons is right in his face as he gets the edge, he just throws it aimlessly away.
So a little bit of pressure here from this Montreal front.
Watch him slide to his left, and all of a sudden Antonio comes off of his block. Little shovel pass. Live to play another one.
Sets up 2nd and 10 on the Calgary 40. The crowd here in Montreal gets behind this defense. Excellent crowd here today.
Bo's got 2 seconds. He didn't get that off. That's time count.
Crowd here in Montreal, as we mentioned, getting a little bit fired up. Bo Levi unable.
Prior to the clock reaching 0, Calgary called timeout. Timeout, Calgary.
Ooh, Dickinson got the job done in time.
He's used to looking at that 20-second clock, which is in each end zone. Easy for your quarterback to see every time you take the field. Approach the line of scrimmage. Dickey was watching it for his star quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell there, who's usually on top of that. But I think this crowd really kind of got him off his game there, and Dickey had to save him.
Bo Levi Mitchell's been hurried 6 times today by this Owls D, but hasn't been hit, hasn't been sacked. More pressure coming here. He's going to take a deep shot, and nobody home on that one. Looking for Reggie Begelton, but overthrew him.
Yeah, it seemed to be some confusion there, and Begelton couldn't get off the jam or downfield, and he was up. I think he's upset. Just a blown assignment because Bo was looking to go over the top and deep there. Didn't have a receiver in the area.
So Maver out to kick it away again. He's had 1 punt today, and it was returned for a touchdown by the man waiting back at the Montreal 20, Mario Alford. This will bounce. Alford scoops it up, puts on the brakes, and runs out of room at about the 28. Nowhere to go for him that time. Nate Hawley downfield. We are just underway here on Super Saturday on TSN. Still to come. Don't go anywhere. Why would ya?
Yeah.
Bombers and Riders.
We're just getting started.
Fajardo, Harris, huge battle out west. Obviously a game that the Stampeders will certainly be watching. And then later on tonight, James Franklin and the Argos will be taking on Mike Riley. Our live mic game here on TSN today. So still over 6 hours of coverage and a heck of a finish here probably. Adams 1st and 10 from his own 29. He'll give it to Stanback. Stanback with maybe his best carry of the day. That'll go for 11 and a first down.
Hey, how about the big boys in front of him though, clearing it out for him? Spencer Wilson, Christian Matt.
He's hopped on for a ride.
And then you got 235 pounds coming in behind that. Yeah, that's moving the chains time right there. Only 3 yards up to that carry here in the 3rd quarter for Montreal.
Stanback will stand in to the right of Adams. Now he slides out to the right. That'll be complete. Quan Bray with the catch. Pickup of close to 5 yards on first down there for Vernon Adams.
He should be fresh. Mario Alford has been taking over his responsibility in a nice fashion too, taking that one back. Punt back in the 3rd quarter, beginning of it here. Quan Bray getting in the mix.
Yeah, Bray last week did not have a catch. Involved a little bit more here today. Here's Adams. That will be complete back to Bray as he gets popped by Law at midfield. Hangs on for a first down.
Tight little window closing quickly. He's watched Vernon in his eyes the whole way. Watch his eyes. He's looking for Bray on this. Clearing over the top. Looking. He's not disguising anything. Just waiting for that window, and he sticks it right on.
Adams will keep this one near side. That'll be complete. Lucier.
Well, I like the thought process, right? Pound it. Quick throws inside to Bray. And then here, move the pocket, get it out in a hurry. Excellent second and manageable situation for the Alouettes, looking for some momentum here.
They want to move this ball quickly here. 2nd and 4. Time ticks down in the 3rd quarter. Adams again. He's got a ton of time. This time he guns it over the middle. And that one will fall incomplete. He was looking for Quan Bray again. And Bray a little slow to get up.
Yeah, and I think Quan Bray had recognized what was going on behind him. And he knew that Brandon Smith was leveraged on that play, and he was coming downhill. And as Vernon dumps it down, there you see Brandon Smith that had a beeline for Quan Bray, who's going to knock his 4 into a 5. And kind of lost concentration, understandably so.
Yeah, he got absolutely popped there. It looked like the offensive line was calling for a flag. But Bray is back up and on his feet. Kahari obviously chatting with the officials on the far side of the field as well. As Bray is just now being walked off the field.
Yeah, and you can.
Montreal has been removed from the game by the injury spotter, and the play is under review by the command center.
They're going to see whether or not this was a legal hit. As we know, Brandon Smith had him teed up just by leverage alone, coming downhill with him on a dragging right underneath.
Looked like helmet on helmet, didn't it?
Well, we'll take another look at it. That's what they're reviewing. Good on the command center for getting in front of the player and helping the coaches and officials on the field to get Bray off the field, get him some medical attention. And here you see Vernon checking down to him, and there, almost the collision.
Looked like Bray was almost knocked out the way he sort of fell. Watch it again. His arms kind of come up, and he.
Yeah, targeting, I can't see that there. He doesn't look like to tackle him. He just wants to hit him here with his shoulder. You can see that. He's getting down, bracing for impact. And
he didn't target the head, but that's just the end result of the way he tackled it.
Yeah, it's.
Bray has been removed from the game.
That's the tough part of trying to corral this.
After review by the command center, there's no other foul on the play. It's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, and that's football. You can't police everything in the sport.
That's the role of the command center there to take a look at that after Bray leaving the game, and they say no foul on the play. Beatty will kick this away from his own 50 as that brings up 3rd down. And has a towering kick that actually bounces into the end zone. Williams will grab it there. And Williams will take a knee as the 3rd quarter comes to a close with a single there from Beatty, giving the Montreal Alouettes an advantage here. 4th quarter coming up. Lots of football today right here on TSN. Don't go anywhere. We're nail biter between the Stampeders and the Alouettes. It's a 1-point game as we head into the 4th quarter. The Montreal Alouettes with the lead on one side of the ball. The Calgary Stampeders over 400 yards passing from Bo Levi Mitchell. And on the other side, contributions from everybody for the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, and I think that was the difference in that quarter there. Obviously, Mario Alford stepping up to the plate on a punt return. Big play for them. Put 7 points on the board and tied this ball game early in the 3rd quarter. And then it was the defense of Montreal taking over, creating turnovers where Calgary couldn't seem to hang on to it for their life. And Bo Levi Mitchell was continuing to sling it around, but Montreal then really couldn't put any points on the board. Only had 37 yards total offense in that period. And but they got contributions from the big way from the defense, creating the turnovers and the special teams, as I mentioned. And They got a 1-point lead.
Calgary trailing by 1. Will start just inside their own 35. Far side of the field. A completion up close to the 45.
First time we've heard from Huff in this half, I believe, and had an outstanding first half. Picks up 8. Bo Levi continues to swing it all over the yard. Stampeders just have to hang on to it.
1st and 10 now. And there's a big opportunity right up the middle for Terry Williams into the game there for Don Jackson, and he takes it up to midfield. So to start the 4th quarter here, the Stampeders march
coming downhill right here. Washing down. Terry makes Solbeck miss. And it is off to the races. A little shooken up on the sidelines.
So Jackson comes back into the game. He'll stand up to the right of Mitchell. Mitchell's going to keep it. Ball for grabs.
Batted ball. Patrick Levels knocked that one down.
We saw Levels come in earlier in the 3rd quarter and try to get his hands in the face. This time it worked.
It's a great read here. You know, it's his responsibility to contain. He's right here. He's just going to read. Watch his eyes. He sees that Jackson's not going to get it. Now he puts himself in between Bo and the receiver. Gets a piece of the ball. Another big play, 4th and 2nd and long.
The crowd at Molson Stadium fired up again for this Alouettes defense. They've got Bo Levi in a 2nd and 10 situation in midfield. Downfield for Rogers, and it ball pops loose, incomplete. Greg Reed in coverage.
Just keep fighting. Play's not over. Rip it. This is a beautifully thrown ball. Timing ball by Bo Levi Mitchell. Really feeling it with his arm and his receivers. And you're going to watch him run a corner route here. That's Eric Rogers. 6'4". That ball is right there as he comes out of his break. But then Greg Reed never gives up on it. Rips it out as he tries to control it as he goes to the ground.
Maber kicks this away. This is Reed, who will bring it back up to the 26-yard line, and the Alouettes offense will be back on the field as Calgary trailing by 1, looking for one of their go-to guys in Rogers. Could not hang on to that one, and now the defense will go back to work here, trailing by a point. Vernon Adams and his offense back on the field.
Yeah, and, you know, we talk about Tony Washington going down. Schuliger goes from right tackle to left tackle, and Landon Rice moves to the right tackle spot. And they're trying to get it done here in the 4th quarter for the Owls offense.
Montreal, number 50.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty.
And on cue,
still 1st down.
Unfortunately for young Chris Schuliger, first-year player from Alabama, Birmingham, he's getting bounced around, and he gets called for it as I call him out here, taking the spot of Tony Washington.
Washington left the game in the first half after having his right leg rolled up on, carted off, obviously not returning today. From his own 16, 4 targets to the left, dumps it off on the right side. It's Jeremiah Johnson. Johnson's got a big hole, and he'll take that up over the 30 and awfully close, and enough for a 1st down.
It's all about timing with these screen passes and patience, and he's going to slide right in here, and he's going to get busy as he gets the big boys up front, invite him up the field. Landon does. And now you got Spencer out there, you got Matt out there. The Schlager's out there as well, getting her done.
Johnson back to the sideline. Stanback now in there just behind Vernon Adams. Adams will keep it here. Downfield, the receiver had fallen, and now flags will fly, and Jamar Wall is not happy with that call.
Defensive pass interference. Calgary number 29. Point of the infraction. Automatic 1st down.
First down for the Alouettes on Calgary side of the field.
Yeah, I believe it's going to happen right here as the receiver goes up. He's trying to run a corner route. I think it's accidental, and as it happens,
The infraction was defensive pass interference. Accidental. Feet got tangled from behind. This is a
So it's a 10-yard. You were right, Matty. You had the good read on it.
yeah,
Accidental.
well, yeah, maybe not the good illustration because I had the wrong receiver and DB picked out. But it was two guys just balling, their feet got tangled up. Simple as that.
So it's 10 yards, a first down. That'll move them up to the 41. Kahari Jones watching on the sidelines. 4 receivers to the right for Vernon Adams. He'll keep this one. Gives it to Stanback. And a flag as Stanback tried to turn the corner at the 40.
Yeah, that's not, and that's going to be offensive holding, I believe, as he tried to get the edge.
holding. Montreal, number 5, 10-yard penalty. Will replay first down.
Yeah, DeVere Posey is thinking that Stanback's going to cut it up inside of him, and Stanback dips and rips, and now you lose the cylinder, and the guy's coming out to get contained, and the ball carrier, and you hang on to him just a little much, and you get called.
Posey knew they got him. Wasn't going to argue that one.
Yeah, he thought Stanback was going to go up inside. You know, it's every offensive lineman's nightmare.
First and 20. Adams backed up here now on his 31. Some pressure coming. Drops the ball. Picks it back up. Now he's going to throw it downfield and away up towards the crowd. Fortunate bounce for Adams.
They're trying. Back there as VA can't get a hold of his own football. Comes out of his hand. Watch coming off top. Off the edge here. Now he's off to the races as VA muffs it as he tries to throw the screen back underneath to Jeremiah Johnson. Picks it up on the fly and then chucks it out of bounds.
When it's all said and done, he's 2nd and 20 from the 31.
Yeah, and I really think that Mike Rose, defensive lineman of the Calgary Stampeders, got away with one, hitting Vernon Adams late after he threw it away.
Here's Adams, just a 3-man pressure from Calgary. That one high for Stanback, and he got popped as he went up for it, and he feels that.
Yeah, he does.
He'll be slow to get up.
That's a rib fest on a Saturday afternoon.
Lorenzo Jerome right in the stomach.
Yeah, and the ball's high. He's got to extend for it. And as he does, it is Sternum City. I broke my sternum in high school, and that's not a good feeling. That takes a while to come back from. Not saying that's what happened. I mean,
You're just saying that.
I'm just saying that
sternum, yeah.
He hit him right in the sternum and knocked the wind out of him.
We'll get an update on Stanback, who's slow to get up and might get a little bit more of a look here as we work our way through the 4th quarter in the first leg of a triple header on TSN.
On Coors Light answering the call, the focus was on Vernon Adams, and certainly not his best day of the season. 17-28, 196. Been sacked once. Big Alouettes defense, though, has him in this game, leading by a point. Back to Dustin and Matty.
A look there at Jerome and Stanback, and some sportsmanship as Jerome popped over just to make sure Stanback was all right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm not sure how heartfelt it is.
I was going to say, does Stanback actually go, oh, thanks? That really helps.
So. Probably told him where he could shove it.
3rd and 20 here for Beatty. He's going to kick it away, standing just inside his own 20. Terry Williams waiting for it. Wow, towering kick. Williams will take it at the 26. And really nowhere to go. Got back to about the 35 on a 53-yard punt from Boris Beatty, which will be his longest of the season, as long as 52 coming into this one.
The combo there on the stop on special teams. Just guys continue to make things happen. Bo Levi Mitchell got another 10:41 to go. He's well over 400. He'd like to sustain a drive and ease the clock up, put some points on the board, and see if they can't retake a lead here that Montreal is clinging on to.
This drive starts on the 35 for Calgary. Here's Mitchell up under center this time. Now some pressure coming, throws it away. And that one is going to bounce at the 32. Took a little while for that pressure to get there, but eventually it did.
Yeah, there's Woody Barron, and you're going to watch him. He's right here coming in late, and Bo Levi's looking to his left.
There is no infraction for...
Here comes Woody around the edge.
There's no infraction for intentional grounding. There was a receiver there.
Bo didn't care. He was throwing it anyways. He was trying to go to his left, trying to go deep, but they had good coverage there. I can see it from here, and Woody Barron had enough time to disrupt that play.
2nd and 10. Now more pressure against Mitchell. And he falls forward. Antonio Simmons came bursting around the edge.
Along with Woody Barron on that play. These guys are getting after it up front now, feeling that their offense is struggling and they're going to need some help. And that's exactly what they're giving it to them. Yeah, it's coming from over here. That pressure's coming from this side as they're playing games over here. Woody starts inside. And Simmons comes from the outside, and they get there.
Alford will take this at his own 40, back up to the 48. And the Alouettes are going to have pretty good field position after their defense. 2 pressures on Bo Levi Mitchell. Really stepping up here over the last quarter and a half.
You don't hear often much, about the defensive line for Montreal other than John Bowman. But he got it, Foot's been playing his tail off lately. Barron's had the day. Simmons is really coming on. Ryan Brown had an interception in the late in the second quarter there, right before the half. And these guys are making it happen in a tightly contested ball game.
The Alouettes looking to extend a lead here. 18-17 right now. 3 receivers wide to the left for Vernon Adams. He'll give it to Stanback, who finds a little bit of room and rumbles ahead. He'll take it close to a first down.
Yeah, and you got to love this when you got so much movement on the front line. Again, you've got Tony Washington out of the lineup, and these guys are having to slide all around. And
2nd and inches, Adams, short yardage, he'll just push ahead, and that's an easy pickup for a fresh set of downs for Adams and the Alouettes.
Yeah, I just love how Landon Rice has come in, and he's balling at the right tackle. Schleliger is doing a heck of a job at left tackle. Young player. Of course, you got Christian Matt in the middle. Rutherford and Spencer Wilson trying to gain some momentum for their offenses, looking to find some traction here.
Just over 8 minutes remaining in a 1-point game. Alouettes looking to bounce back after a loss last week. Calgary hasn't lost since they were beaten by this Montreal team in Week 10 back out in Alberta. Now it's pushed ahead again. It's the Alouettes for the first time in this game starting to commit to the run. Stanback pushing ahead for a big pickup on first down.
Yeah, Schelliger, left tackle. He gets enough of Cordero Law and jacks him off the line of scrimmage. Watch him jack him up off the line of scrimmage about 5-6 yards back. And that's when he finally makes contact with Stanback, who picked up 8.
2nd down, 3 to go. Adams up under center. Gives it to Johnson, who's got a first down, much to the appeasement of the crowd here.
Now it's thunder and lightning going on right now. You got Stanback and Johnson playing off of each other, a power back, and then a guy that's an explosion, a little more shiftiness right here. Nice little jump cut in the hole, picks up 5-6 yards there and moving the chains.
It is nice to have both of those guys capable of doing some different things. And the Alouettes sustaining a drive here.
Yeah, and you can feel the momentum shifting, and these guys are starting to feel it. 1st and 10, see what they can do.
They'll work from their own 38. Stanback bounces around to the left to Adams. Adams throwing this time, complete to DeVere Posey, and Posey's going to get a first down as he steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line of Calgary.
Kahari Jones feeling it here. I love this coverage here. And I love what they're doing. He's going to run out here and run out here and sit there, and then he's going to go up and block for him. Watch how this plays out. They're soft. That's a soft, easy, mushy zone. Got one receiver out front, using as a blocker. Move the chains. Easy pitch and catch, just taking advantage of a soft, mushy zone there by Calgary.
1st and 10 from the 27, 4 targets wide to the right. They'll give it to Stanback, stays on his feet, and eventually will be wrapped up by a couple of Stampeders after a short gain on 1st down. McManus in on the tackle there.
Yellow bobble on the snap here by Vernon Adams in the exchange here to Stanback. He got McManus coming off the edge. He gets it, sticks it on the 3 and the 1. McManus is in the backfield. Stanback's got to do a little sidestepping, but he runs into Cordero Law for a minimum gain.
Brings up 2nd and 7. Jeremiah Johnson inserted back into the game. Stanback with a breather. Johnson will flare out to the right. Adams is going to keep it right up the middle. Does he have the blocks? He does. Lunging ahead, he's going to be awfully close.
It's going to be tight.
They'll bring up 3rd and very short if he can get it.
Yeah, this is pretty simple here. You've got 3 double cut. They're playing soft zone coverage in 2nd and 8. And watch how these guys go back. These guys an area outside out here. They're cutting here. He's cutting there. And they're going right up the middle. Watch them make this happen. Boom. Linebackers get depth. O-lineman's out in front. Vernon tries to pick up that 1st down, hide behind that big boy out in front of him.
3rd down and about a yard on the Calgary 18. The 8th play of the drive. Adams up under center, pushing ahead.
He's not pushing very far.
Moved ahead a bit. Wasn't enough.
I don't see much movement there. I don't think they have this. Facing that spot, I don't think they have it.
Is it going to be close? They're going to measure. Really wasn't much of a push.
No, wasn't much. He got stood straight up. There's no push from the center. No push from the center. And credit that defensive line of Calgary who's gotten pushed around on this drive in particular. They said, not in this 3rd and short situation. We'll watch the guys work in the middle.
A matter of inches, but not enough.
Yeah. I just think they had no momentum there on that drive.
Turnover on downs for the Alouettes.
Flip the script.
First of the game for them. Nowhere to go for Vernon Adams, and now Bo Levi Mitchell a chance with just over 4 minutes left. A defensive and special teams battle here in the 2nd half. And a stop on 3rd and a yard for this Calgary defense is giving Bo Levi Mitchell the ball with 4:20 remaining in this game. Here's Mitchell near side, complete to Sindani. And he is not able to bounce back up, so they'll get about half of what they needed for the 1st down on that play.
So over to you, Ryan Dinwiddie, Dave Dickinson, Bo Levi Mitchell offensively as that defense got you the ball back in dramatic fashion on that 3rd and short stuff.
2nd and 4 here for Mitchell. He's in trouble again. Got him! John Bowman!
One veteran, baby! 134!
Got a piece of him and wouldn't let him go.
Make it 134. This guy right here, John Bowman, comes up big, keeping momentum on Montreal sideline.
Alford will take this at the 53. Alford trying to find the near sideline, and he'll take that down to about the 41. And a flag for a lap. And that's going to march them down inside.
Power pleading his case, falling on deaf ears.
We were just talking about Montreal's defense.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness or scholar tackle. Calgary number 46. First down.
And And here's the play as you get another nice return and a timely one by Mario Alford. And there's the horse collar. And he still got him collared about 3 yards out of bounds. So it could have been a number of different ways. A little late to the party there for Charlie Power. And he gets called for it. Momentum and definitely on Montreal's side. The last time they had the ball, they had the longest drive since the first drive of the game. Went for 44 yards. The first drive they had one at 79. They're looking for another one here.
I'll hand that off to stand back. He pushes ahead for a minimal. Take us inside 3 minutes here at Percival Molson Stadium in Montreal, and the nail biter continues. 18-17, the Alouettes with a lead at home.
Coming up at Mosaic Part 2 of the triple-header, Charleston Hughes and the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the third and final meeting against Willie Jefferson and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Yes, 2 of the top defensive players in the league. We got to finish, though. Back in Montreal to Dustin and Matty.
A finish indeed is what is on the way here in Montreal. 18-17. Bo Levi Mitchell getting a look.
Yeah, he's game planning for when he gets the ball back. And last time in this situation, we saw Calgary go 3 double cut and then ran a quarterback draw. See what we get here.
Calgary hasn't scored a point here in the second half of this football game. Jeremiah Johnson now in at running back next to Vernon Adams. 2nd and 7. And they're going to give it to Johnson. He's got a ton of room, pushing ahead. Eventually, he's wrapped up.
Oh, they're going, it's going to be 3rd and 1 again.
Going to be almost the exact same situation that we saw in their last possession, as Calgary did a good job closing off on that after Johnson had a pretty good push to start.
Yeah, and they just ran a draw there.
And this time at 3rd and 1, they will bring out the leg of Boris Beatty to try to give his team a 4-point lead. Beatty is 24-28 on the season coming into this one.
Wow, I get that. I mean, in the last week, though, Kahari goes for it on 3rd and 1 as opposed to going for the field goal. This week, after what just happened in the last series, he says, we're going for 3.
24-yard kick is good. Hammered through the uprights by Beatty, and the lead grows to 4. They decide to kick on 3rd down here. They were stopped earlier in this quarter, and this is what happened last week, Matt.
Yeah, this is what I'm referring to. Antonio Pipkin, unfortunately, loses the handle late in the ball game there, and Kahari Jones was going to try to seal the deal, pick up that 1st down, as opposed to kicking a field goal this time. Not so much. You know, the young quarterback, Antonio Pipkin, really didn't make himself available to the media after that ball game, but he fessed up to it. He faced music later on in the week, and it's a growing situation for him, and learning one. And I told him before the ball game, I said, look, man, I said, you play this game long enough, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. I threw 211 interceptions as a pro. You're going to have days like that. So what doesn't kill you is going to make you stronger. And Antonio Pipkin learned a lot from what happened last week. And Kahari Jones kind of took him off the hook there and kicked the field goal.
Calgary is getting the ball back, but they'll need to drive the field for a major. This will come down to Terry Williams. Maybe he does it right now. He'll take it up to the 20. Williams outside, running out of room. And he is stopped in his tracks. And Bo Levi Mitchell back onto the field. Over 400 yards for just the 3rd time in his career. And he's riding a 4-game win streak since coming back from injury.
In a place that they're 1 for 4 in the last 5 trips. So, well, good or evil gonna come out for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Couldn't script the first game of a triple header any better.
Listen to this crowd is into it right now. This defense has been balling here. Getting one turnover after another from the Calgary Stampeders, who've been willing to cop it up.
As Alouettes fan base knows, they haven't been in the postseason since 2014. A win today does it. They'll hand it off right up the middle. Don Jackson falling at about the 30. He'll need probably about 6 on that carry.
Got to be aggressive here, and I'm watching where the receivers are.
They're going to hand it off again. Jackson stopped short of a first down.
2 yards short, too.
Back-to-back carries by Don Jackson leaves them on 3rd and...
Yeah, that's 3rd. Looks like 3rd and about 2. And, I mean, they're just trying to rely on the big boys. And a guy that's thrown for over 400 yards handed it off twice late in the game here.
They're going to hand it off again. This time Don Jackson's got it. 3 consecutive carries, and 3rd time's the charm for Don Jackson and the Stampeders offense.
Yeah, this all is coming down here because they're just going to wash him down here, and he's going to bounce it. And he's almost to the races.
1st and 10 now from the 42. There's whistles.
Procedure.
Flag on the far
That's
side.
procedure, Calgary.
Procedure. Calgary number 61. 5-yard penalty. It will still be first down.
And, you know, and I think that's due to this crowd and this noise. And it's tough for them to communicate down there, although they're only like 6, 7, 8 feet away from Bo. They can't hear it. And I know you're taught to go on the snap of the ball, but sometimes instincts take over. And time clock in his head just went off a little too early.
A lot of the crowd here at Wilson Stadium on their feet now, getting behind this Alouettes defense. Mitchell complete to Beggleton, lunging ahead.
Picked up half of it anyways. That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and fortunately for the Stampeders and Bo, right in the arms of Reggie Beggleton.
96 seconds on the clock here for Bo Levi Mitchell and a Calgary team that has won 4 in a row. 2nd and 7. 3 receivers to his left. He'll throw to his right. Eric Rogers has the first down, and he'll take the ball over midfield.
Yeah, this is just too easy. You're not being aggressive here. Double cut. We've seen it before. Here. Oh, excuse me. There. Well, I just botched that up completely, but they sits in the soft zone right there in the hole, in the hook area. Both fine.
Some pressure coming this time. Picked up well. And Rogers couldn't get there. Wow. Jannard Jones.
Rogers thinks that was early. And I think he's right.
Jones came in there quickly. Let's get another look at it here, Matt.
Yeah, just live, it looked like he was there early. I think he's challenging it.
You see that left arm of Jones come up?
Yeah.
Kind of hook Rogers' left arm.
Yeah, Dave Dickinson saw enough from the guys in the box where they said, yeah, throw it.
Calgary is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was defensive pass interference on the receiver number 4. The play will be reviewed.
Before we get a look at it, let me give you the numbers. Dickinson's 4-0 on challenges so far this season.
Right here coming this way. You're going to watch Jones come over the top, breaks on it. I think he's spinning his left side of
before the ball gets there.
Rogers' body before the ball gets there.
That's a tough one. Rogers
at the end
knew
of the
it right
day,
away.
at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world for Dickey or the Calgary Stampeders. It's either 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10 here with 1:16 on the clock. So
that's awfully
still
close.
A lot of football to be played. This is not a decisive moment, but a challenge nonetheless that'll give him 10 yards down the football field.
I would not want to be one of the men making a decision on this one.
That's what they get paid the big bucks for. Well, look at this place. Everybody's got their phones going. I haven't seen this in a long time. It's like a concert now.
I was going to say, we're at a rock show.
That's crazy. From up here, it looks just like a concert.
waiting for the call here. Will it be 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10 for the Calgary Stampeders? And this decision taking an extended amount of time.
After review by the command center, there is defensive pass interference by Montreal. The ball will be placed at the 46-yard line. Automatic first down for Calgary.
Well, game plan still the same for the Montreal defense, is to hold them out of the end zone. Field goal doesn't help Calgary. Got to have 6 here. It's the Calgary Stampeders.
Dickinson perfect on challenges this season, and this one,
That's incredible.
not bad, right?
That's incredible. That's an incredible stat amongst itself.
Pass interference on Montreal. This is a 10-yard penalty.
Wow.
Automatic first down.
Yeah.
There we go, move it up.
There's Jeremiah Johnson helping the crowd.
This Montreal defense has made plays, like we mentioned. Calgary at 17 points at half. They have not scored in the second half of this football game. Mitchell looking to change that right now. He'll need the end zone. A field goal won't do it. Near side, and that one up and through the hands of Josh Huff.
That's on both. That one just got away from him. I think he felt the pressure to get it out there quickly, and this ball just comes off the top of his hand. He's not able to pull it down. He never had the laces. He never got the laces. He just chunked that out there. That was, sometimes you got to do that as quarterback.
Ninth play of the drive for Mitchell and the Stampeders offense. This time they face the 2nd and 10. Looking to his left. Throws to his left. Complete, but a great tackle on the far side of the field. Jannard Jones involved a lot here in this Montreal defense.
Yeah, he's trying to make up for that DPI. It's another long throw from Bo. He gets the laces this time, and he needed him to sling it out there. Jannard Jones has said, got to make up for lost ground.
3rd down and 6 yards to go for the Calgary Stampeders. Alouettes defense been money all day. Can they make a play here?
Challenge him. Got to challenge him in Montreal.
Here comes some pressure. Mitchell, blind line. Batted down by Bo Lacombo. Turnover on downs as Alouette defense gets the job done again. Think they're loving it here in Montreal?
Well, this defense has been on fire in the second half. Limited Bo Levi. He's right here, and he's going to come in late, and he's going to get his arms up. He tried to sell it as best he could. Oh, he's got to. He timed his jump perfectly. And defensive coordinator Slowick is all over it. Dave Dickinson can't believe it. Bo Levi had over 300 yards passing in the first half. And he's got 130 in this half, largely due to Montreal's defense being in his face.
They'll give it to Stanback, and he'll just push ahead and hang on to that football, most importantly.
Yeah, here you go.
As the clock gets down to 41 seconds.
Timeout, Calgary.
So Montreal can smell a home playoff game in their future. And they've had contributions from just about everybody on that football team in order to make that happen this afternoon against Calgary Stampeder team that's been surging, playing in a lot of close football games like this. And Dave Dickinson told us before the ball game, yeah, we're just winning by just a little bit.
Yeah, so not blowing anybody out.
Every time. And so when it gets down to this time of the season, the leaves start changing, the air gets a little cooler, and the snow starts falling. The difference between winning and losing is minimal.
Here's Adams to stand back again, trying to push ahead. And he will be stopped, and that'll bring up 3rd down with 35 seconds on the game clock. Bo Levi pacing the sidelines. Montreal's defense excellent here in the second half, really the entire game, but especially the second half.
Well, Bo was lighting them up.
Big stop.
Started with that interception late in the first half. Ryan Brown. Beatty out here to kick it away, and he'll let this clock tick down, and it'll be inside 20 seconds by the time he's forced to kick it away. He stands at his 31. Terry Williams, who's definitely capable of breaking one, stands back at the 15, and they'll let it run down and call a timeout with 15 seconds remaining in the football game, and a 4-point lead for the Montreal Alouettes. Calgary Stampeders 1-4 in their last 5 visits to Montreal. And Dave was talking about it earlier. He goes, yeah, the only win we had, they only had 12 points.
Yeah.
Today they've got a quarterback who threw for over 140 yards.
That game was 12-6, the one that they won here. That's the way it gets this time of year, and certainly when you play here, it's a tough place to win.
Beatty set to kick it away. They added a second on the clock, so with 16 seconds left, another towering kick from Boris Beatty. Williams will take it at the 16. Williams runs out of room, scooped up and taken down with 6 seconds on the clock. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers from TSN3 joining us for the final few moments of a huge game between the...
Yeah, both been outstanding with the deep ball all day. 7 plays for over 20-plus yards, 242 yards. Coming down those explosive plays. He's going to need a big one on this one.
Needs it all right here. 6 seconds. Definitely capable of breaking one. Stands back at the 15, and they'll let it run down and call a timeout with 15 seconds remaining in the football game, and a 4-point lead for the Montreal Alouettes. Calgary Stampeders 1-4 in their last 5 visits to Montreal. And Dave was talking about it earlier. He goes, yeah, the only win we had, they only had 12 points.
Yeah.
Today they've got a quarterback who threw for over 140 yards.
That game was 12-6, the one that they won here. That's the way it gets this time of year, and certainly when you play here, it's a tough place to win.
Beatty set to kick it away. They added a second on the clock, so with 16 seconds left, another towering kick from Boris Beatty. Williams will take it at the 16. Williams runs out of room, scooped up and taken down with 6 seconds on the clock. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers from TSN3 joining us for the final few moments of a huge game between the...
Yeah, both been outstanding with the deep ball all day. 7 plays for over 20-plus yards, 242 yards. Coming down those explosive plays. He's going to need a big one on this one.
Needs it all right here. 6 seconds on the clock.
They got defenders back in the 35-yard line.
Mitchell's going to step up, dump it off underneath the Hergy Mayala, and that'll do it. Montreal Alouettes going back to the playoffs for the first time since 2014, led by that man right there, Kahari Jones. What a better place to do it than Montreal with this crowd behind them here for the Alouettes.
Yeah, that was the epitome of a team effort